Welcome to Unchained, PlayStation Unchained. At that, I am your host, Neil Bolt, here to talk about things that are PlayStation-based and not. A lot of not, as you probably know by now. I am joined, as ever, by Mr. Bin. Bin
Shillabeer-hall?
Bin Shillabeer-hall, yes. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. In a bin, it seems.
We think more highly of you than he does.
No, I'm in a garbage bin. It's fine. That's perfectly okay for me. I was picturing one of those green ones. Just sat in one of those green garbage cans.
Fair enough.
You were in one?
I've got way too much detail for this joke.
I just imagine you in your bin outside, next to spying on all the werewolves.
Well, it's got to throw the old food to keep them away.
Wow.
Just sit there with a box of fish and be like, "No, go away."
I see. Right. Carrying on there. Also have with us Garri Bagdasarov.
Sup, players?
Players, that is so poorly done. Come on, better.
I'm talking about video game players.
Sure.
Always taking things the wrong way, you
guys.
guys.
Also joined by throw me off completely. Yeah. Yes, Chris DeVisser. He is also here.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, players?
What's up? Are we all doing that now? That's it. Just everything.
Hit that, punch that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. If we get 10,000 likes, I'll give out some V-Bucks. 100 V-Bucks for every 10,000 likes.
What the hell is a V-Buck?
We have different names for them.
It's the Fortnite currency.
Yeah.
We have a lot of names for them.
Gary's just in awe right now.
I call it doo-doo currency.
Well, it probably has as much worth, really, to be honest.
I call that bias.
This is my life.
Anyway, also, of course, joining us is the sweetest poet of all. He is the Honey Noon, Tim Nunes.
I was going to say, is that a comment? But then, honey, nice. Well done.
Thank you. Told you. A game. Only A game on that front.
That was sex.
The rest of it is Z game, but this, yeah, A. All the way.
A to Z in 1, 2, 3.
Yes. And finally, rounding out our little troop, if you will, it's the return to this podcast of Alfonso Boxill.
Way too long, but it's finally good to be back.
We missed you, Alfonso.
I missed y'all as well.
I miss you, Alfonso.
Only we don't, because we still don't hear you on the other podcast. So it's a strange kind of missing. It's a theatrical sadness, if you will. But you're well, anyway, I assume.
I am.
No stabbings, no interpersonal relationship dramas.
Yeah, there's a story
No
behind that.
electrocutions.
That's going to shock y'all.
Well, you
Shock us, not him.
Yeah, you just saved that for the podcast where it matters most.
The one that's already gone out and you've heard it before.
Yes. That was so good when you said that thing about the thing that happened in the thing, but it hasn't happened yet.
Man, I was shocked. I had to go change my pants because they were so shocked.
Shocked? Is that what happens when you get shocked?
Well, traditionally, yeah. If the shock is bad enough.
I thought you just had a weak bladder and it's mildly startled and he's whoop, change it.
I can't just be mildly startled. Remember the werewolves and vampires.
Oh yeah, you get used to it. After a while, it's just there you go. Only 3 out today.
Ben, just eat a lot of silver and a lot of garlic. Doesn't matter how it gets into your system. If you want to spray silver paint on some garlic cloves, just get them in you somehow and you'll be fine. You keep both the vampires and the werewolves away.
This is very true. I think I would just say allegedly, really, at this point.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, can I talk
As
about...
everyone knows.
Right, can I say one thing, right? There was a joke. Well, it was a name for this town, like 5 or 6 years ago, that was so bad that I thought it was a joke. And then I met people while I was doing the Pokemon raiding yesterday, and someone actually named the town it. And I was sat there going, no, God, no. Why? Why was this still a thing? I'm warning you now, you're all going to laugh. They called it Scarbados.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's as bad as here, where Boxill, which is like basically the drug haven of our town, is known as Bos Vegas. Literally,
Scarbados.
for no real reason. I think then it got called Boscow because of its high Eastern European player count, if you will. It's, yes.
But yeah, they came and said, it's nice to actually visit Scarbados. I'm like, no, it's Scarborough.
Barbados Slim? I thought you were still in Scarbados.
Oh my god.
It's Futurama. All the 90% of my body is just comprised of, like, Family Guy, Futurama, and Simpsons quotes. That's literally all I'm good for.
Oh, you're
at
being
this
serious. One second, let me laugh harder. And now I shall leave for no reason.
The big brain am winning!
Words escape me.
I think you'll find that's called talking, Gary.
This is my life. Why do I talk?
Good question.
Because you have a beautiful voice.
Look, Honey Nunes, I'm sick of your shit.
Call me the honey badger. Or honey nooner? Maybe that's something else.
Honey,
yeah.
yes.
Straight to the moon, mate.
Sweet, sweet nooner.
Embarrassment. Embarrassment.
One of these days, straight up the noon.
Please.
Straight up
thank
the
you.
moon, oh my.
That's where he likes it.
That's no boo.
Straight up his honey nooner. That's.
I like it to the point. Hence, it's a nooner.
Dear. Anyway, we're here to talk about video games.
Are we?
Sure.
I feel,
Dirty liar.
I feel if I keep repeating it, it might become true at some point.
We'll see.
Well, first, they actually have to announce some stuff about video games for us to talk about.
Well, there is stuff, I suppose, if I were to look.
There is stuff.
There is stuff. I mean,
We can talk about the overpriced Resident Evil 2 Remake Collector's Edition.
What do you mean?
Because-
That's kind of cool.
Overpriced, though. Come on, Ben. Let's be honest.
I just
Also,
want
it's Leon.
game.
Give me Claire Redfield.
That box better be solid stone and LEDs for that price. That's all I'm.
A bit made
Handies.
up. That's all I want.
So what comes in it, Gary? Tell us what comes in the package.
Okay, so you get a statue of Leon Kennedy. I believe it's 12 inches of his
Lame.
design.
12
Phrasing.
inches of... Yeah.
12 inches of
What-
phrasing.
Which I personally believe they should have done a statue of the both of them. Especially if the collector's edition is $200.
Well, don't worry, Gary, because they haven't announced European Collector's Edition yet, so what they're probably going to do is going to give Europe Claire, America Leon, then you have to import one or the other to complete the collection.
Japan needs to get tofu.
It has to.
Oh
Has
my
to be
god.
made out of tofu as well.
Now,
If there were a Claire Redfield one, I would get that, like, hands down. I don't even play too. If I were Claire Redfield, I would get it.
Yeah.
As I said,
All right,
my thing is
you-
that they should have tofu being eaten by Hunk on a chair, like in the cutscene.
Yes.
Or the April Fool's joke of Akuma. Just give me an Akuma statue in Resident
Is this
Evil.
a
Hell, I'm
reference?
surprised they didn't give an Akuma outfit to Chris.
You wait. You wait.
All
till
right.
you- the
All
alligator-
right, moving on.
No.
You also get a poster of RPD renovation blueprints, because everybody cares about that.
Then you can build your own RPD.
Oh, God. You get an art book, which is a standard thing in collector's edition these days, a digital soundtrack of the game,
Meh.
And the game will also come with the deluxe version, which will give you the entire DLC pack voucher, which includes the original version soundtrack swap, whatever that means. I'm guessing you can change the soundtrack of the game, original soundtrack.
Yeah, instead of remastered.
That sounds
You
awful.
get 2 costumes for Leon. One is the Arclay Sheriff and a Noir outfit. You also get the Samurai Edge deluxe weapon, which I believe is the one that Albert Wesker uses.
So you,
From what I
you
understand.
win.
And you get 3 costumes for Claire. You get the military outfit, a Noir outfit, and you get the super awesome Eliza Walker costume, which for those who don't know was the original female character that was in Resident 1.5 before they got canceled. And they redid the whole game with Claire.
Is that good?
Well, nobody ever played that game, so
So yes.
I guess so. We'll get to play with her. You also get the pre-order bonus of the Samurai Edge, which is Chris's model, and the Samurai Edge, which is Jill's model.
Chris, you have your own model? Nice.
I am indeed a model of my own.
And during
Shapely
Resident Evil
model.
2 as DLC. I'd pay for that.
And apparently you get all this in a nice RPD item box packaging. So it's a box with the RPD logo on it.
Oh, good, because I want the packaging for my collector's edition. That's the most important bit.
It's $200, and it is exclusive to GameStop, which was their first mistake right off the bat.
Ew.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
it'll be exclusive to game, and that'll be their second mistake.
But
Exclusive to game.
$199.99. I personally think it's pricey for what you get. I don't think, out of all that, I don't think the statue is really the biggest thing, and I don't think it's worth $200 personally.
That's why I said that that RPD case, it needs to be like metal or stone and a bunch of LED lights in it or something. Because
RGB
no,
lighting.
that price, yeah, RGB lighting. God damn it!
See,
built-in chili.
if they would have done the statue, of the two of them standing
Gross.
together, like the game's cover is, I would totally buy it. But it's just Leon. But like Ben said, the European Collector's Edition hasn't been revealed yet, and Capcom likes to change those because they're assholes. And
Would anyone want to trade with me?
UK one.
As I said, we'll probably get a Claire one, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'll trade with you, Ben.
Very
That'd
possible.
be awesome.
But yes, that was revealed.
Hey, it can't be as bad quality as the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Collector's Edition. With the Infinity Stones that look like Infinity plastic orbs.
That was a thing. That was a thing.
The Infinity Balls
To infinity and
and beyond.
Thanks, childhood.
Reality balls.
Yes.
The reality ball.
Fuck's sake.
Well, I can't see the other one because I might get sued by the National Lottery.
That's
Right.
why.
The Powerball.
Oh, it's fine.
Anyway,
So who's buying the Collector's Edition?
I am.
Alfonso, you are?
Yeah.
Why?
Just because it's Resident Evil 2. And I know, besides me, a lot of people that also know is getting it just because it's been a long time for this remake, and it's finally happening. So I could justify this price, and I'm okay with this price because it's a lot better than the Darksiders $300-$400 collector's edition price.
This is a fact, but you
What
get
about the Assassin's
4
Creed?
statues in that one.
What about the Assassin's Creed $1,000 Collector's Edition?
I don't really play Assassin's Creed, so so
It's just
Nah.
some of Collector's Editions are stupid. But yeah,
Well,
I
let
agree.
it-
$200 isn't that bad if the statue's well done. I paid that for what did I pay? I paid that for Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, I paid about £200 for 15. So
Woof.
woof.
and then I forgot the content wasn't in the game, so I had to buy more season passes.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Does. Anyway, other news. There was other news, wasn't there? I'm sure there was. It always is. But we saw Nathan Fillion in an Uncharted live-action fan film this week, which was all right in places, but clearly not together in 5 minutes in a lot of ways. probably because they didn't have him for very long, but it was nice to see all the same. He's a good 15 years too old for the role now, it has to be said, but yeah.
I thought he was looking a little wrinkly in it.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's not looking as funky as he was, to be fair, in recent years. So I was surprised to see him in such good shape again, to be honest. Which is good to see.
No Man's Sky's getting multiplayer missions at last. It's finally getting its online multiplayer.
And other things.
Yeah.
Well, it's becoming something very exciting again.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to installing it again.
Yes, and every major publication had their own exclusive interview with Sean Murray, which boiled down to asking the same 5 questions and getting the same 5 answers, which mainly was being harassed by people online. A really bad thing. And it's like, yeah, funnily enough, it was.
It kind of sucked. That's why Phil Fish left the game completely. If you don't remember.
Square Enix revealed the rewards from Fantasy 14's multiplayer thing with Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, there was that. There was
Behemoth.
People got excited that Bluepoint were working on Demon's Souls Remaster, despite the fact that everything on the page points to it being anything but Demon's Souls.
Well, yeah, as soon as I read the photo mode, I'm like, no, it's Demon's Souls, because Demon's Souls, there's no pause button at all. Why would they suddenly go, let's not have a pause button, let's have a photo mode instead?
It also sounds multi-format as well. We would then put that out, which draw out the Metal Gear Solid one as well. But
they like money. They might as well just throw it on everything. Huh?
Could be. But I think it was Garri. I think pointed out Mass Effect is quite a strong contender. There,
I would buy that so hard.
That would make my Mass Effect.
Garri, would that make the best Mass Effect 2 you've ever played?
Sorry, I was away. What are we talking about?
We're talking about, is this Bluepoint game possibly your best Mass Effect?
I could see it being Mass Effect very easily.
That would make my Mass Effect.
I mean, with EA being more willing to... If EA was willing to do Burnout Paradise, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't do Mass Effect.
Yeah.
At all.
Especially
since that franchise kind of went downhill for them now. It'll be a good way to get a lot of the fan base back.
Well, just milk money out of that fan base, knowing you're not going to go back to it. Burnout.
Tim.
What do you mean? Why would it be a bad business model to make a game just for Tim? Why is that a bad business model?
Game just Tim.
Yeah, especially if it was Metal Gear Solid 2. I'll buy that again.
Metal Gear Solid, Tim.
In VR, I don't care how bad it is.
I want
Fish and mailed, I'd still buy the shit out of it.
You just want to run around as Raiden naked in VR.
Hashtag.
You know what I would pay so much money for? Was if Konami released Metal Gear Solid VR missions in VR.
Yeah, it's called Volume, and you can already buy it for VR. So yeah, it's there.
Yeah, but I want to play as Snake and Raiden and random other characters.
Random other characters.
Wow.
Play with Snake and Raiden.
Yeah. It's almost like you had them written on your hand. You're like Snake and Raiden, and also it's like random other characters. He's not wrong, to be fair, because there's Big Boss and Venom. So
just like you could have even play as the villains, like Fortune or Vamp, because it's VR. So. That's what I meant by random, just, other characters.
That's less random, more in universe. I mean, random would be like if SpongeBob Square was, if that was the characters.
I would like Spider-Man turns up for a VR mission.
What else do we have? Let's do our 5 seconds of Xbox news. Microsoft put out a thing saying they had a hardware reveal coming up. Was it Gamescom? And
Gamescom,
yeah. And of course they hyped this is very familiar if you've ever heard a Microsoft story. They hyped up that it was going to be hardware, realized that it might get them in a bit of trouble, had to track back a bit and say, we're not actually talking a new console, we're going to make a slightly new version of something we've already got, that's all.
So what you're saying, it was a timed exclusive tweet?
Yes.
They didn't make any mistakes. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. they realised that this was a particularly shitty week in the universe and that no one would really care by the end of the week. And they were right, I think, because everything that's gone on since then in the world probably puts that quite low down on the list of things that people care about.
Did you hear that Battlefield 5 will have an open beta that's earlier than the previous beta because of all the problems that the alpha had during the previous Battlefield?
I didn't.
Yeah.
But that's probably because I've stopped caring about Battlefield. I think it's even the allure of World War II is not
Battlefield
there.
5 open beta will be in September.
Battle what?
Battlefield.
Battle what?
I like that. Well done, Chris.
Battlefield.
I feel the same way. I'm just like, battle what? I don't give a fuck about it at all. It's just overdone, like Call of Duty. And though I am still curious about the new Assassin's Creed, I haven't had a chance to catch Odyssey yet, but everybody said really good.
It was best Mario game. Oh, sorry, right, not that one. No, Odyssey is the new one. Origins is the.
Oh wait! Oh, did I say Odyssey? Yes, thank you.
Oh, Black Ops 4 has a beta start time as well. I bet September. August.
Yeah. We learned that Wrecking Ball will come to.
Sorry, August 3rd for PS4.
Stop talking over me, Benjamin. Damn you!
Right on the button, Benjamin.
I get that reference.
It's breaking advertising news. Ben's over at our breaking news desk here. And so he just pops in and yells things really quick about
Activision, Call of Duty, hashtags.
I'm a little suit and tie as I say that now.
If it helps, I'll imagine you in a suit and tie, Ben,
at your desk.
With a little,
at your desk
with a little hat with a feather in it.
Yeah, monocle.
Pumping a fist angrily. I assume to do with the news, could be something else. We don't know.
Why not both?
Why not both? This is the news. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. From Software have promised that there will be more than humanoid enemies in Sekiro. There'll be some dark and hidden things that, so monsters basically. So if you want a more Soulsy type thing in terms of enemy design, it's not all going to be humans. Even though the human design has not been bad at all either so far. So we shall see. And there's a whole bunch of new Spider-Man stuff that wasn't anything greatly new, but just a new trailer, pretty much confirming a couple of characters we knew were going to be people. So Norman Osborn is clearly the Ginger Man, which is not shocking, and Kingpin and all those lot, Rhino, etc. And Silver Sable, of course, was shown in that one. So
and we found out that Laura Bailey's doing the voice of Mary Jane.
Yeah, and she's definitely. They showed a bit of the old stealth sections with her. I hope that works because I can see that being a point of contention if they don't do it right. I look at Breath of the Wild's brief foray into stealth for one whole section, and yeah, if I could take points off a game for one tiny section, it's there. It's there. But yes, so yeah, there was all sorts going on this week, but really not much. It's Comic-Con week. We've just had a bunch of
awesome trailers is what we had.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They are the trailers, and yeah.
I just want to say that Godzilla movie, oh man.
Oh yes.
That trailer did a lot of things to me.
Yeah. Absolutely loved it. It's just, even the Shazam trailer, actually thinking about that, it's just like I love the attitude and the fun feel to it, which is just that was the best put across thing they've done in a while, you know.
Yeah, and I'm just happy that chubby Godzilla's coming back. Like that's my favorite Godzilla.
Yeah,
he's so adorable.
and he gets to fuck up King Kong next year, which is even better. So
yeah, I'm expecting King Kong to appear at the end of this movie. So it's been 4 years, man. I need a new Godzilla already.
Mm-hmm.
Just stuff that isn't Pacific Rim Uprising. It's just fine. No, talk action movies. On a video game related note, I watched the Tomb Raider movie this week, and That was a whole lot of nothing, really. It was. It's like they took basic ideas of the rebooted version of the game from 2013. Same island, same legend of curse, except they turned the curse into a very grounded, normal bollocks, and it's just like, oh, so you're not going to have mystical fucking creatures and shit. In a video game, I might say, oh, well, we didn't need that. But in a film, when you've basically spent half your film being a 90s British film that in terms of production values and script, I'm not talking like Notting Hill or anything here. I'm talking like shooting fish. For all two people that listen to this and get that, well done to you. But yeah, it's such a slow start for a film. It spends 45 minutes really getting to the point of anything. Walter Goggins shows up and is probably the worst version of Walter Goggins we'll get on screen. He's just a little too passive for once. And yeah, it just all culminates in a very drab finale. Just a bit. I'd heard it was okay at best, and I think that's probably fair, to be honest. It is okay, but it's just like it looked less like Tomb Raider in parts and more like Uncharted. Just like, especially like the hanging from things in there was straight out of the school of Nathan Drake's. I've broken the thing I'm standing on, and now I have to hang off this thing. And so they do the whole. They try to make a big thing about the pickaxe, yeah. And how, that's her main weapon, the iconic weapon of the modern Lara. And it's like, sure, okay, but why? And yeah, the use of the bow and arrow in some scenes is just laughable. It's just like holding someone up with a bow and arrow when they've got guns. It just seems a bit silly. I think they put that out. And there's a whole dad-daughter thing going on, the whole storyline, which is just the stuff that they teased on in the games, but condensed into one movie and finished and done with, and just like, oh, okay, right. None of that was necessary. Great to have this strong female-led, action movie that totally relies on how much she misses her daddy and how much she looks up to her daddy, and yeah.
I hate when they try to when they poorly shoehorn like characters into it. I feel like that's kind of been a curse of the Tomb Raider movies. I felt like that with the Angelina Jolie ones too. It's just I didn't really care for Laura's background, and then I don't know. Well, I mean that was among a lot of problems. I felt Angelina Jolie was bad.
But I mean, it was for where Tomb Raider was then. It kind of fit, because it was big, dumb, stupid, fun in a lot of ways. But yeah, it had very minimal plot points, and that was Tomb Raider then. It's a little better now, and I expect a bit better than me. It spends the first 40-odd minutes showing you how Lara's trying to live the good life, not spending her inheritance, not signing off on her inheritance or anything, because she still believes her daddy's alive and all that. And yeah, it's just fucking just trying to show that she pity her, she has to steal food and she can't pay the rent. It's like, but she could if she fucking signed for her inheritance. And it's like kind of makes it a mockery of all the other people that she's taking things from to just live like this for nothing. And it's like, and then in the end,
why does that sound so familiar from something?
Probably
like something.
I think it's in a Batman film somewhere. Yeah. I'm sure.
Arrow, maybe, because that's Ollie's kind of thing right there.
In fact, Iron Fist is the same as Iron Fist as well. So basically, the worst.
You had to bring back Iron Fist, didn't you?
Hey, I am looking forward to Iron Fist season 2.
No.
Not even Iron Fist is looking forward to Iron Fist season 2.
The new director is good, and I enjoyed Iron Fist in the last Luke Cage. So,
well, they got the fight coordinator from Black Panther for that. So, but then again, the fight scenes in Black Panther weren't exactly spectacular. They were good, but they weren't like holy shit. Look at Jackie Chan fighting Jet Li. It's not that.
Yeah, you're not going to have the person shooting them that were shooting those fight scenes and not have the soundtrack. So it's not going to be quite the same.
I'm excited for that, by the way. Jackie Chan versus Jet Li.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
No, it is. Who's... Oh, God. Jackie Chan is playing the bad guy in a new movie in one of, like...
Dude, have you seen a picture of Jet Li recently?
He's still fine.
He's not fine, dude. He's not fine. He's suffering from a genetic disease, and it's killing him very slowly.
Oh, man. I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, he's not looking good at all.
No, who was it? There's something upcoming that Jackie Chan is actually going to play the bad guy in. God, I wish I could remember it. It's, I'll look it up and I'll get back to you.
Thank you. You do that. So that's the news, including a small review on Tomb Raider the movie, which is at best a 5 out of 10 movie. It's not the worst video game film. It's just there and forgettable in a lot of ways. I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you half what happened had I not watched it 3 hours ago, to be honest. So it was that. Trying to think. That was it? Yeah. So, video games, huh? We play them sometimes, and that is often a part of the show we do. So, let's do that.
It was Donnie Yen. It was Donnie Yen to face off against Jackie Chan in Ip Man 4. That's what it was. Excuse me.
That's better.
Did you say Hitman 4?
Ip Man 4. Ip IP. IP freely. I think that was like the oldest Simpsons Bart's prank call to Moe. IP freely.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a Beavis and Butthead one. I can't remember which.
No, I think it was Simpsons. Yeah.
The guys doing Iron Fist 2 directed Creed as well. That was pretty good. That was what,
Yeah, what? The director of Black Panther is directing Iron Fist? Because he directed...
The stunts producer.
All right, so I was going to say, because it's the guy who directed Ryan Coogler, then that would be a massive thing.
It's the guy who did all the fight choreography.
And just a strange choice, given that his most natural choice would be like Luke Cage. But yeah, it's
yeah, he did the fight choreography for Creed. That was very good. So
it was very good. It was. It certainly was. So yeah, we play games. I've been playing games. I don't know about you guys, but that's certainly a thing that's happened this week.
Yeah.
Yes. What have you played, Neil?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Christopher. I have been playing... I can talk about this because by the time this goes out, the embargo will be ended, so I can talk about it anyway. The Persistence, which is a PSVR first-person roguelike horror game, if you will. And, yeah, it's pretty creepy. Yeah, it's... I love games in space stations, apart from the first Dead Space, which is massively overrated and nowhere near as good as the other two. But I still...
This is why I love you, Neil.
Damn, that sounded like a jab. I don't know.
That was. I took that personally. You're talking about my homeboy there, Dead Space 1.
I'm going out swinging, sunshine. That's it.
Yes.
He's going to offend everybody, by the way.
And then win them back with charm and good old-fashioned British good-naturedness.
Only if you send me a honey beer or whatever the weird-ass beer you drink.
I'm just drinking Amstel. So someone's getting excited. So
Come on, who was it?
It couldn't have been my excitement because I was muted.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it reached your mute at this point. And
Did you say bleached my mute?
well, it could do. I said breached. Either way, dirty.
Bleach my Channing Tatum. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Just know that,
This is my contribution. I'm seriously the worst.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
That I called myself out, or that I...
Both.
Why can't it be both?
Perfect.
Yeah, so earlier in the year I played a game called The Station, which was a very narrative-based game set on a space station, and it was boring because if you're a narrative game, you kind of have an interesting story. It didn't. And there was not much to do beyond that because of the puzzle. Here, it's more about survival, and in that 3D environment, it's just that much more unnerving to just sort of go down the corridors, which are often dark, of course, mostly to hide like limitations in terms of character models and stuff. Not greatly. I mean, as far as VR games go, it's one of the better looking ones, in terms of games designed for it. If you do get to fisticuffs with they're basically the enemies in this are like offcut copies of clones. They are the bad versions of clones that come through, because you are always playing as a clone of certain staff members that were at this space station, and that's how it goes. I think they did the same in Prey Moon Crash last month as well. And but each time you die, if you collected a certain amount of credits and like stem cell research stuff, you can make yourself a better version of that person for the next time round, and have better abilities and better weapons to start with. Your basic stuff is like you have this thing that can extract like stem cell DNA stuff as well out of the rogue bad corpses, if you will. But also it doubles as a melee weapon, and you can hit. But you have like a force field shield that uses a parry. So you're parrying in VR in person. So kind of do that, parry, knock them down, and then hit them with the other thing. A bit weird to get used to in a 3D environment, because I think the only previous time I can think of a VR game doing that is Skyrim. And that was pretty much a case of just flail your hands around until something gets hit. Yeah. And here it's like it works well when you get used to it, but you just have to find what works best for you. I will say this: its control options in terms of motion sickness control and stuff like that are really good. So they've got a few different versions of the same basic control setup in terms of how you move, and it's the least stick I felt in a first-person game that is fairly quick of pace, but not super quick, and it's grand like that. There's some really tense horror stuff that definitely replicates some famous horror moments, if you will. Like I noticed someone else pointed this out, that you have to go through some air ducts at one point, and it very much does remind you of the bit in Alien where Dallas goes through the air shafts and tracking the alien, and it's really just it really gets to you, because you hear the clones a lot of the time well before you hear them. And for me, a disadvantage with VR is that I only have one ear to hear out of, so I don't really get three-dimensional space hearing. So
are you deaf in one ear? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, completely deaf, like no nerve.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Learn something new every day about you.
That's it. I attribute that to why my speech is often so Sylvester Stallone-esque at times, but the best of times. It does lend me a slight disadvantage in games that rely on sound, because I just normally will be like, shit, where is that coming from? I don't know. It might be there. Shit. I've got to twat the buttons as hard because it's right in front of me.
It'll automatically compensate for it. I'm asking out of pure curiosity for game designers, things to keep in mind for people who are hearing impaired. Is it something that you've adapted to over time, where even only hearing out of one ear, you can hear that it's supposed to be on your left, whatever?
Some stuff works in that sense. You can kind of tell that it's close, just because it's getting louder in one ear, in particular in that ear that you hear out of. But most of the time you're hearing a noise, and it's like you can't really get that directional sense quite as well. It's the same in real life. You can't always, if you don't have a point to focus on, you can't really tell where the noise is coming from. It's like that. I'd imagine for anyone with two hearing ears, they'd be like, oh, I know that's over there and off to my left here, because I can just my ears tell me that. In most cases, if I can't see it and there's other factors, it's just it's like I can't tell for sure that it's coming from any one direction. It could be coming. The amount of times my wife would go, no, say, I heard a noise. It's coming from over here. No, it was over that side. And it's like, okay, it's a crazy thing. But yeah,
Interesting.
I end up playing everything with subtitles, so usually that helps. But when it's games like this where it's a very audio sensitive thing, it adds a bit of pressure. But it's stuff like Alien Isolation. I found it's doubly terrifying when you're being stalked by something, but you're not quite sure where the bloody hell it is already, and then you don't know as well because you can't hear it exactly where it's supposed to be. You get caught out a bit more in terms of where you shouldn't be caught out, and yeah, it adds something, which is good for someone who's a bit dull to the shock and awe of horror in a lot of ways. To have that as the only level of uncertainty.
Is that comparable to you as Alien Isolation? How hiding from the aliens and that kind of made you feel, that same kind of sound design? Are you having the same issues with it?
Yeah, this time, when you got weaponry, it's a bit different because you can attack, but it means the enemy is more aggressive and it means they're going to attack you. So you kind of need to know where they're coming from a lot of the time, and it just means a lot of twitching around and looking. Which VR, this is where it is handy. Is because it's VR, you can look around a lot quicker, than if you're just using thumbsticks and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great in that regard. You
just give yourself whiplash.
Yeah, it's like when I played Resident Evil 7 like that, it's like, even though I knew all the stuff that was coming because I'd played it before, it's like it feels different because it's a 3D space and the audio cues are, they're there here and there. It's a case of remembering what you saw, and some of that's anyway because the enemies wander and don't stick in the same places. Mm-hmm. Yes. Anyway, this is I think it's a really interesting horror game. I like that it's a roguelike because death isn't the end and it adds something to your experience. But it's somewhere in between Dead Space and Alien Isolation in what it does, and I'm happy about that. I think it's really looking good. I need to play a little bit more just to get to the review stage, but I've been very impressed with it, I have to say, which is VR games been hit and miss, but really done well with that one.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. I played some more Sonic Mania Plus, which was that encore mode is brilliant. I love it. Basically, now that you collect the characters to act as your lives, and when you run out of characters, you run out of lives, like that, and just stuff like Mighty. He's a great character now because he just deflects attacks and bounces projectiles, and that's a really cool thing to have. I've not really got used to using Ray the flying squirrel just because I can't quite tackle that for some reason. But hey.
Man, I wish I could play
it. You never got around to telling me why that was, but yes. So. You will. That's it. That Overwatch, I've got used to using Symmetra more recently. Now that not every game requires me to go, so no one's going to be a tank or a healer, but I guess I have to pick one of them again. And that hasn't happened recently. So
man, you just described every Battlefield game I've ever played.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it still happens with Overwatch. Believe me.
Yeah, every time I play Overwatch, it's like, maybe I can be DPS. No healers. Well, I guess that's a no.
Yep, I'm a Widowmaker main, but I do enjoy Lucio as my healer, and I actually do the best in those games.
Yeah.
I enjoy Mercy, but I tried.
Yeah.
So now the one with the Z. I can never remember your name.
I want to say
Zenyatta.
Zenyatta. Yeah.
Sorry,
I tried him recently.
I was thinking of the Disney actress.
Pass through the iris.
I tried him recently. He was quite fun, but it was a pain in the ass to heal people because of the whole. It seems to not heal as much as Mercy.
Yeah, tank wise, I go Zarya or Orisa. If it's healing, it's either Bridget or it's Lucio. And so far, as I said, Symmetra is like the only one I've really clicked with in the middle ground sort of thing. But yeah, there's a whole bunch. And I don't know if anyone loot boxes tend to contain stuff mostly for characters I don't use.
Oh yeah, I get all that as well. Or get like legendary, and then it's some coins. Even though I only have about 4 legendaries.
Yeah, well, I got a few of the legendary skins just because of getting the pumped up edition, if you will. And so yeah, I got. But yeah, it's really fun to just dip in and out of, and I fully commend what they've done with that game. Fantastic stuff, I have to say.
Yep.
I won't go back until they stop fucking Mercy with nerfs. So sick of it.
Yeah, Mercy's been nerfed so much. I hate how slow the revive is now.
Oh my god!
Wow, I didn't know that they had, I don't play Mercy like at all, so I didn't know that they nerfed her so bad.
Well, you
My
can
character,
still do
and
it.
it's not once; it's been several.
Yeah.
And there was a period of time where they were gonna give her a buff again to make her make her legitimate for competitive play.
Yeah.
And the moment they did, they realized that they were giving her too much power and nerfed her further.
Wow.
Shit. It has pissed me off so much, and I've heard that they're doing a thing now where they're going to be buffing her again. So I'm just expecting her to just delete her from the game.
Yeah, because before, wasn't it, when you used her like specially, it would make her res like instant. It res twice, if I'm rightly. At one point, it was
Yeah.
like a multi-res, but now it's just like it's almost not worth using the res because it just takes like 3 or 4 seconds, and you can't do anything during that 3 to 4 seconds. You just stood there holding your hand up for a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, she's healing people in real life now. Okay, we all saw the image.
Best thing on the internet in a while.
Oh, that's one thing I hate is
That is
everyone
good.
that shouts, "I need a healer! I need a heal! I need a healer!" When you're looking at them and they've got full health and they're just jumping around.
Yeah, definitely seen that a few times. But yeah, it's a good way to get lots of commendations. It is to be a healer because people, if you just stick around them healing, they're like, "Oh yeah, he did well. I'll give him teamwork badge or whatever
Yeah,
at the end."
I'm like near. I think I'm near like level 3 in it.
Yeah, which is nice. I like that. That system has definitely
Yeah.
made it fun because
Yeah.
what isn't fun is the whole play of the game system. So I got one very early on, in playing it, and ever since I feel I've done stuff that's more impressive or more important to the game, and then just no, as much as you probably helped win the game with all those actions you did, this guy killed 9 people who were in a bottleneck in a row, so he wins the play of the game. It's
You
like,
healed your entire team from like a junk rat explosion, but no, that guy who killed 2 people.
yeah, that guy who looks bottleneck. That's it. Yeah, he's definitely the guy that wins that one. I know it's not a perfect system, obviously, but it's just annoying when you've done really well and then that happens, and then you like get the medal ceremony thing at the end and the card, so I should say, and then you feel, oh well, my card says I did this, and that was definitely more important than killing 20 people for nothing. But okay, the guy who's killed 20 people, he's winning. Okay, that makes sense. There's still that. There's some things that the system hasn't quite fixed. Let's put it that way. People still seem to see it as I killed lots of people, therefore I am the best, and it's not really the way.
Well, hey, I mean, if you're gonna be Bakugo, then go all the way. You know, not all of us can be Midoriyas.
That's very true.
Oh god,
And wrong
anime
podcast.
thinking into a PlayStation.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to. It just felt so perfect.
Crossover. Nice crossover.
Don't ever do it again.
Gary, I'm sorry.
I think most of them. I played a lot of 553 Classic again this week. It's like, as much as I find fault years on, I still find now why I enjoyed it so much to begin with, and it's just one of those games that I just can dig into the little bits that it offers, and clearing out camps and finding stuff, and it's soothing. It's like I don't give a shit about the story, and it's like I avoided that as much as possible, but still got past the vast being gone point. But it's I want to finish it in a way soon, just because I've got Far Cry 5 just sitting there now to just play that next. But I still doubt it's going to be quite as much fun in a way. I don't know. It's just something about the tropical island setting for me that just feels right in terms of that series. They've been the only ones I've enjoyed. The tropical island set.
Speaking of Far Cry 5, I did get my Far Cry 5 Platinum this week.
Well, there you go.
You'd like to know, since I've been bringing up Platinum trophies the past couple of weeks.
There you go. Well,
man.
that's
Welcome
a good
to the party. What do you at now?
What am I at? I'm at 20. I'm at level 24 on trophies with 19 platinum. So
Nice.
nowhere near as amazing as you are, Tim. But as I've said before, I only kind of platinums that really interest me if they're like challenging or Garri's, and I can't let him show me up, so I have to get it too.
I feel you. I have a similar mantra, but there are very few platinums that don't interest me. So
There you go.
I'm actually more worried about Fonzie catching up. That's actually
That's
like a real life stress.
I've been slacking. I haven't gotten platinum the way I did like I did last year. So yeah, last year I got 47. This year I only have 9. So yeah, I'm falling behind.
What's your count then?
Yesterday I got 2, so now I'm at 119.
119. Damn, you're like, oof. You're 30 off.
Man, you're farther than me.
Yep.
Oof. I'm getting itchy. Hang on.
Yes.
It's okay. We'll find some kittens for you to get platinums on. Man.
I don't need your help.
Hey, that Paw Patrol game's coming out soon. You can get that. There you go.
Oh, hang on. What? Tell me more. I've actually been super interested in a couple challenging platinums, and I know I've talked to Garri a little bit about this, but I recently got the Wolfenstein Platinum because that one was fairly easy, and then I saw how egregiously stupid the Wolfenstein 2 one is, and I felt like I had to try it. So I would say actual game time, maybe played that game for like 30 hours, but I've spent probably about another 30 hours watching videos on people doing run-throughs on the Mein Leben run-through because it's so stupid. But oh my god, I've learned so much.
And then you start from the beginning again, right?
Well, no, it's not one hit die, but if you die, there's no saving. So if you die, you go back to the menu. So it's knowing the game inside out, all the shortcuts, all the things, like knowing what to do when and how. And like the shortest run I've seen on Mein Leben is something like 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is insane. So I've been watching those, like trying to get the finer points in. And of the 13 or 13 chapters, the 13 chapters, I've managed to get to 8 without dying.
Nice.
Which, but I'm not even to like some of the weirder fights. And man, if anyone is familiar with Wolfenstein 2, there's the courtroom scene and then the final fight that have me wanting to shit my pants. But I've seen some exploits way to do them because it manipulates how the AI comes into the game, so it's more manageable. But they still have bullets and they still throw grenades. So. Yeah, I mean, a lot can go wrong, but you can kind of bottleneck them into certain areas to make it easier.
Man, are you still thinking about doing it, or have you given up on it for now, or what's up?
Given up? Fuck you. No, I wanted to. No,
you give up yet?
I still am planning on doing it. I'm still planning on doing it. I have a few more short-term goals that I want to iron out, but. I want to be able to dedicate some time to that, and usually I do a game than when I try to just smash my head into it for a long time.
Is there a name? Is there a name for that? Because I've always had that too. Like if you start, it goes through. What is it?
Hindsight.
No,
no, it's a real thing because I've had so many games where I play it the first time. I'm like, oh, okay, I think I get it. Or I hate it. Like a good example actually is Final Fantasy 13. I played it until the first boss fight, and I didn't get anything. I didn't really spend a lot of time trying to learn it or figure it out. It was just stupid, and I didn't get it. So I literally uninstalled that game for a year, and I had this itch to go back. So I did, and everything that I didn't understood, a basic edition, and it was wonderful to go back and absorb that all again and be able to just fly through the semi-mundane parts to get to the meat and potatoes at the end of that game. And
isn't the first 40% of that game just a tutorial or something like that?
Not really, but it just takes too long to get to the point where you need to care about what you're doing. I think
so
that's
like
the problem.
15.
Oh my god, that I got to the platinum and I didn't know what I was doing with that game.
I'm so sick, but I'm so sick of open world games now that I would love to play Final Fantasy 13 again just because it's so linear.
That's what's like really been weird for me. Is like having played so many in recent times and got a bit about it. The fact that I've gone back to Far Cry 3 and been like, I like this. How it is. Maybe it's just what's in it and how it's set up that can be the problem. I think. Yeah, I don't know. You've got to be in the mood for a certain kind of open world game if you're going to do it right. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's the difference between, say, Far Cry 3 and 4. Whereas 4 just felt a bit. It was peak Ubisoft. Let's crowd the fuck out this map, sort of thing with stuff. Whereas 3 felt like, yeah, okay, there's stuff to do, but I can do it at my own pace. So I'm happy. It has to be the right kind. That's just it. Right setting, right feel.
Yep. Real
feel. Yeah. So I sort of segued multiple times there. Tim, as you were last talking, do you want to talk about anything else you played?
I guess most of my time this week has been either in farming out stuff in Destiny, which I'm kind of getting back into, and my review for.
Yeah.
And that game was a perplexing sort of experience for me because, as anybody who knows me, Garri, you asshole, brings it up every time. Every time I mention
God forbid
puzzles,
I tell you the truth. That you would do it too.
Every time I mention puzzles or talk about having to there was one time I remember, Garri, when I was looking at main menu and you said, "Oh, you need help with that?" Because apparently it was a puzzle.
Yes.
But man, I when it comes to puzzles, and it frustrates me, either like I just get it and I don't have to think about it and I feel like a god, or I look at it for like half a second and start questioning things, and then I just basically just jump off a cliff. I don't get it. I've always been that way with puzzles. I kind of just figured it was the fact that I was more into like artsy interpretive stuff when I was young, as opposed to like hands-on manipulation, like Legos and stuff. I just didn't spend a lot of time with it, so I don't know if that's what it is. But yeah, I've just been awful at puzzles, and the point I ramble on about is that the Spectrum Retreat managed to present me with steadily increasing puzzles, but I never felt like I couldn't do it. It just seemed like a little bit more comprehensive, but still challenging. And the thing that really killed me with like games like Portal is that like you can look at all of these variables, and then you have to figure out how you have to manipulate them, right? And it's not just like moving a block to this, but it's also you teleporting to places to manipulate where you need to go and things. And that was just too many things for me. And I mean, it's more than one thing, so it was too many things for me. But but Spectrum Retreat managed to present, even in the last bit, because every floor you go on, you gain a new a world or colors or like teleporting and things. It's pretty cool in that light, and it seems very organic in its progression. So I never felt like, like in The Witness, when I would be halfway through and I go, oh, okay, I learned this, so I can apply it here in this way, and then lab it, and then get like halfway through that transition, that line of puzzles, and then get thrown like 30,000 different stupid things that had no relevance to what I was doing, and I would just feel like I was the stupidest person in the world and blow hard. That felt great. But yeah, the puzzling, I don't want to say it didn't get in the way, because it's not really the puzzling that I have a problem with, which is weird for me to say, but because that part of the game is super, super organic, and it felt so good to do. And like on its own, if that had been a game just that, I feel like it would have been more successful. At the same time, with the way that the narrative was delivered, it was very subtle, very interspersed. But the more time you spent in puzzles, the more time and space there was between those little narrative pockets. And like the conclusion to that game has a very interesting hook, but there's just too much time spent elsewhere for you to really focus on that, on the weight of that hook. So it just kind of feels like an okay at the end, as opposed to like Jesus, that cool moment. So it was a bit of a disappointment in that end, but man, that game is super gorgeous. It's insane. Like some of the textures they put in there is just stupid, and there were even points where I was startled and shocked. Like, it had a real life effect. Like in a game where I get startled or something, I like react to it and actually do something, like try to shoot or run away. In this, it had that sort of like realistic effect where like if someone catches you doing something you're not supposed to, you kind of just fucking freeze, right? And there were plenty of times like that in this game, and like the automatons that manage the hotel, they're super, their voices are super calm, but they're also incredibly quiet. So you never really see them until they're like right on you, or if you see them from where you started or whatever. But plenty of times I was in the place where I shouldn't have been, and they just pop up, and I run around the corner and they go, "I don't remember your room being back there." I'm like, oh shit, because I'm investigating some stuff to try to mess around with this hotel's algorithms, and they keep like catching me in these little things, and I start. And it wasn't even like an actual scary moment, but it was just in the way that those moments were delivered that really gave like a break in it all. And I wish the game had put a little bit more time into putting weight in those moments, as well as giving the narrative a little bit more of weight as well. Because, man, the puzzling aspect of that game is super, super just engaging and organic, and I just loved it. It's just a shame that that game has a lot to go on. I'd like to see them do something else with a similar vein, but yeah, it just needs a little bit more balance on both ends to make it just a super clean, complete package. To make it something really special, in fact.
Yeah. Good stepping stone, though, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, like being a first project, that was stellar. Interstellar, almost. Yeah. Keep doing it, Dan Smith.
Excellent. There you go. Anything else, or is that your lot?
That's my rambling.
That's your rambles. That's all right. We'll do that. It's fine. We talk about those games and in an interested and happy way. So that's what you want to hear. Even if it's not necessarily a good thing that you're playing, it's still good to hear. Yes. Garri.
Yo.
Swing round to you.
Alrighty. Well, my time has mostly been with Mega Man X Legacy Collection.
The Dark Souls of gaming.
The original Dark Souls of gaming, yeah.
Dark Souls of gaming,
no,
but Dark Souls was
did not just do that.
I don't know. No, hang on. This is an inside joke. It's not me just being a plebeian.
Did you know Dark
Not
Souls
just
was
me being
originally the
plebeian.
Crash Bandicoot of gaming?
Yes.
Did you know that Crash Bandicoot was originally the Kid Chameleon?
Oh,
And
man.
Kid Chameleon was originally the Shinobi of video gaming.
So the story of many of my stories revolves around memes, and Garri a couple of times in the last couple months has said, "Man, this is like playing Dark Souls." Like every time something got difficult, so I'd send him this meme. That meme, the one with that anime character who's like gesturing up at the butterfly, and it says,
Dark Souls?
"Anybody in gaming industry playing an above average difficulty game, is this Dark Souls?" Every time he'd say something like that, I'd send him that meme and he'd get super pissed. So when he was talking about this game being difficult, I threatened to send it and he got super pissed again.
Yes.
God damn it. No, you know what? I hate you so much.
I don't Anyway,
for those who have played the Mega Man X game, will know what I'm talking about. Those were some hardcore games. To this day, they're still very, very difficult games.
I think that goes for most Mega Man games, to be fair.
Yeah, even the original Mega Man was way difficult. But to me, X, I think, upped the difficulty of Mega Man quite a bit.
X could give it to you.
Yep, X definitely gave it to me. That's for sure.
Yes.
No, it comprised of the 8 Mega Man X titles spanning 3 console generations. So the Super Nintendo, the PlayStation 1, and the PS2. And, Mega Man X is kind of like the older, mature version of the Mega Man franchise. It tells like a darker story of war and, viruses that start corrupting machines and making them go crazy. It also introduced probably one of the most recognizable characters in the franchise in Zero. And it's I love the collection simply because you can, as you play through all of them, you get to see the evolution that the games took and the franchise took. Like, you start off with, I can jump and shoot and charge my attack. That's literally all I can do. And then you move on and you see like these small changes that they start adding to them. Like, I can now dash in midair. I can duck and shoot. And, as the franchise went on, it didn't necessarily go in the best directions. And, after Mega Man X4, which I consider to be the best Mega Man X title, which was the first one they released on the PS1, it also allowed you to play as Zero for the first time. It was after that where things started to kind of go downhill for the franchise. Mega Man X5, they did this weird thing where you can switch between Zero and X in the middle of a mission. But the problem is if you picked up like an upgrade for Mega Man X as Zero, you don't get that upgrade anymore. The upgrade just disappears and doesn't exist anymore. And it's stuff like that I wish they would have addressed and maybe fixed going forward with this collection in particular, but they didn't. And in a way, I understand they wanted to keep the purity of those games alive, and that's fine and all. But once you get to like Mega Man X7, which is the dark stain of the franchise, because they decided, Mega Man Legends was a great 3D approach to us. Let's turn X into a 3D game too. And it didn't work out very well for them. Like, it still had its 2D moments, but then it opened up and you can run around in a 3D space, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. And by the time X8 came out, they tried to rectify the problems with 7, but unfortunately it was a little too late, and the franchise pretty much ended with 8, which is sad. And we haven't seen an X game since. We've seen a remake on the PSP of the first one, but nothing as a continuation. But the games, to me, like, if you've played Mega Man, you'll instantly know how to play the X games, but there's just so much stuff that goes into the X ones that the original Mega Mans really didn't have. They added some cool stuff, like you can ride on a bike in one level, like a fast-paced, shooter type like that. They started to implement like destructible environments. Well, not destructible environments in the sense like, I can go destroy this wall, but specific objects can be destroyed, and creating new paths and branching paths. It just did a lot of crazy stuff, and it's just so refreshing to go back and play through these games. And I actually talked to Chris about it. Like, it's weird because the older titles, like the SNES ones, Mega Man X through X3, have aged really well, but for some reason, the newer ones have not aged well at all. And that goes not only for the controls, but graphically as well. Like, the old games seem to look better than the PS1 titles did in this collection. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. I went through, I played all of them. I can't say I finished all of them in the time span that I had, but I did finish a few of them, and it's great. They also added some cool stuff, like they added a boss mode now where you can actually fight 2 bosses at the same time. I tried it. I did not succeed in any of them.
You say one's enough usually, so yeah.
Yeah, but now you can fight 2 at the same time, and it's almost impossible to pay attention to both of their attacks while figuring out how to dodge what's coming at you. Very terrifying, but it has like its own leaderboard set up, so I'm sure by the time the game releases and everybody gets a hold of it, I'm sure we'll see some people complete it in like half a day because they're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But other cool stuff it has like a whole museum section, and you can go and like they have concept art of all the games. You can select each game by title. Just look at all the awesome concept art, and it has a description of every piece of art that they've done, like what went into it, why this like piece was scrapped over a different one. Just this plethora of information. You can listen to all the soundtracks to the game. You can change the background wallpapers when you're playing the game because it's like a windowed screen, which you can make full screen. I don't recommend it because it just stretches the image and it doesn't look very good after that. They also have a cool section where you can look at various products they released based on the Mega Man X franchise, like model kits, action figures, mangas, movies, animes, and you can read all these information about like when they were released, when did Capcom discontinue them, so you'll know like, holy shit, if I have this model kit, it's probably worth a shit ton of money now because it's been discontinued for so long. But amazing amount of information on all these things, and it's a fantastic collection. I recommend it, even though the second half of the games don't really live up to the franchise's name, in my opinion. But what's there is absolutely worth it. And from what I understand, you can't buy them individually because it's Collection 1 and Collection 2. Collection 1 features Mega Man X 1 through 4, and the second collection is 5 through 8. As far as I know, you have to buy both of them. From what I saw in the PlayStation Store, they don't have them individually, but when you get it, it's 2 different files. So it's 2 different icons on your dashboard on PSN.
That's a shame because they did the last 2 collections apart. A good pace apart as well. So yeah, it's a bit much to be doing that.
Yeah, it's weird. Like personally, like they're not even that big of a files. Like they're like I think 14 gigs each. They easily could have just combined them into one collection and
sure.
Because if you're not doing one collection, then why do I have to buy them together?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I highly recommend the X games if you're in for a good challenge, enjoyable characters. Actually, the story is actually really good if you can follow it. Each title actually is like a branch.
Is it called the X Legacy Collection?
Yes.
Okay, in Europe it's sold separately.
Is it? That's good.
Because I'm looking at it now.
North American store it wasn't.
Legacy Collection 1, Legacy Collection 2.
All the same, I'm surprised that they are separate things and not just one whole collection. Because they're coming out at the same time. It just seems odd. At least with the last time, they had just done a few of them and then the next few of them.
And if you pre-order now, you save 10% with PS Plus. Until the 24th month.
It's not full price. It's, I believe, $40. So, in my opinion, it's a steal.
£32.49.
Yeah, it's a fantastic collection, especially for Mega Man fans and for like Chris, who is a huge Mega Man fan, but he missed the X franchise. This is a great time. I mean, yes. I don't think you'll get a better collection than this, quite honestly.
Yes, I'm excited.
Good stuff.
You said it had comics and mangas.
They did.
I bet it didn't have the Sonic crossover.
No.
I still can't believe that's a thing.
Well, I don't know. This collection also includes the Sigma prequel origin animated movie. So it's I think like a 30 to 45 minute anime movie that is the prequel to the first Mega Man X game and shows you what happened for Sigma, who's the main villain of the Mega Man X franchise, and how he became corrupted because he was a good guy. Part of the Maverick Hunters is what they called him, and then he somehow got corrupted and became a bad guy. And this movie shows you how this happened, and it's actually very well done too, for something that came out a long time ago.
Certainly better than his involvement in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
I love the fact that they gave Sigma such a high-profile, villain role in that game.
Yeah.
But then they didn't because they just
they
just made him part of Ultron.
Okay. I was like, okay.
That was so ugly. And I'm not just talking about the game, but that boss. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Ben.
Oh, good. I get the short part. Warframe and Overwatch.
Fantastic. We've already talked about Overwatch too, so.
And I tried to stream some Naruto Boruto Striker, I streamed one bit, but the rest of it, the times were just because it was a beta. They decided to only keep the servers open at certain times. Now I just looked at the thing thinking, oh yeah, okay, it's open at 9 to 12, so obviously that's going to be the normal times. But no, the next day was 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then the next time after that was 2 a.m. till 5 a.m. And then again at 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'm like, okay, well I guess I'll play it once. Yeah. Work on better times, please. Or keep the server open, it's a beta.
Yeah, it's weird when they do that. I get it in some ways, but it's always at strange times. I suppose it's for whatever their optimal audience is, I suppose. Yeah, so that was your lot, was it then?
Yeah, that's pretty much a lot, but someone else is playing something right now.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I can hear something.
Yeah, I can. Who is that tapping on my mic?
Oh, no, it might be me.
Well then, Chris, your punishment is to talk about video games.
Yeah.
Damn it. I don't want to talk about that shit. No, I'm sorry if Ben is done talking about what he played. I'll be happy to go next. Ben, are you finished?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, great.
I tried to pad it out just so I didn't say just Warframe and Overwatch.
Playing it up. I actually did re-download Warframe this week to to get my Trinity Prime, and so yes, we do need to play again, Ben. I hope so soon.
I got to do that too. Holy shit!
And Tim and Gary, we all need to go forsies on some Warframe again. Yes.
Ooh, forsies.
Dude,
we are all like 5 years behind in that game.
That's okay. So? We can catch up.
Okay.
Ben can put us in his backpack and carry us again through everything, like he always does.
Did you hear that, Fonzie? We can catch up.
You're not supposed to admit that.
Oh, Tim, come on, man. That was bad. No.
Oh, that's good because I missed Alfonso. He's been so quiet. He's so quiet, Alfonso.
That's all I can muster.
No, don't mention that word.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Just not gonna lie.
Wait, what? I'm confused.
What word?
Mustard's gross.
Wait.
Oh,
you don't
mustard
like
is delicious on hot dogs.
Yes.
Like mustard is amazing on roast beef.
Gary, you shut your face.
What do you guys
on sandwiches?
What do you guys put on your cold roast beef sandwiches?
Cold roast beef? Who eats that?
Me.
I like my hot beef.
I like all kinds of beef.
Yeah, buddy. So does Gary, we've determined this week.
Yeah.
Gary loves eating beet off a woman.
But now some English mustard on some...
This is the wrong podcast for the kind of talk.
We don't have the podcast for this kind of talk, so it'll have to be...
We need to do some slaps in here, I think. It's leaking over.
I'm actually talking about real beef. Moist
So am
beef.
I. So am I. Gary and I were discussing this week how much he loves beef. And he said, I love beef so much, I will eat it off of a woman. Like, he's interested in food play.
Oh, I love this honey, I'll eat it off a woman. Oh, I love this trash can, I'll eat it off.
It does sound like Gary liking a trash can.
Wow.
Well, it's probably the one I'm living in, so it's fine.
Love you, Gary.
Oscar, you're a grouch.
Anyway, Chris, video games.
And let's see, I already mentioned the Far Cry 5 Platinum, and I'm working currently on the God of War Platinum, and I'm still attempting that Super Meat Boy Platinum. I'm just kind of working my way through the game and trying to get good at everything.
I wish
you better get good at self-loading too.
Get good at everything.
At echoing.
Yeah.
What's that? Fucking Black Eyed Peas.
But where is the love? Where is the dove?
That's been it for me. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank God Neil missed that chat about beef.
Beef. I like beef.
See?
Oh.
Do you like mustard on your beef?
I do.
There were a lot of really weird gifts in there.
almost exclusively. You know.
I
Save
won't
World.
put mustard on anything else really, but on beef, yeah.
Maybe ham.
Yeah, ham a little bit.
Yeah, ham's definitely a second on that one.
Okay.
What?
I don't know. I was going to go on a whole conversation about difference between Dijon and mustard, but never mind.
Let's not.
No.
I don't use Dijon, I use English mustard. It's better.
English.
Oh my god.
Coleman's
That's just
English
that is
mustard.
just the most English thing to say. I use English mustard. It's better than that filth you call American mustard.
Well, it
To be
is.
fair, our American mustard is filth. I'm just saying.
Oh, no, I tell you what, it's good. It's nice to have. I like it. I like it on hot dogs and stuff. It makes sense.
American mustard's okay on hot dogs. Nothing else.
And pickle relish. Oh, pickle relish.
I'd rather have sauerkraut.
Oof.
Yeah.
Bet you
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sauerkrauten.
Anyway, video games. Alfonso.
Recently, Suicide Guy on UK version, which I stopped playing because it's just frustrating. I hate puzzles. I'm just like you, Tim. Not good at puzzles, so I'm gonna wait for my sister to come back to finish it because she loves puzzles, so she could get me that platinum.
That doesn't count. I don't give you the authority.
Shut up, Garri. Shut up. He
Okay.
can do what he wants.
Loophole. It counts.
I
I don't-
remember when my mate made me get him some platinums. I made him pay for food the next day. That's the best deal.
Wait,
Super-
he got you a
Oh.
platinum and then you made him pay for your
No,
food?
I got him platinums.
Oh, I was going to say, like, how'd you do that? You
Easily.
got some suckers for friends, dude.
Hey Gary, do you want to platinum a game for me?
And then buy lunch?
I will. And I will buy lunch.
Ooh, he is the best.
As
I mean,
long
it's
as you fall on the line afterwards.
If someone wants me to platinum Jack and Daxter for them again, I'll gladly do that. That's about the limit of it.
You mean the first one?
Yeah, only the first one. I wouldn't dare try the other ones.
You can
It's
finish
like-
the first platinum for me if you want. For Jack and Dexter. I'm so close.
There you go. I'll give you the cheat codes. There you go. Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, that's
And
a
I'll
good-
buy you lunch one day, someday, if I ever meet you.
Yeah, well, I'll make a point of it. I'll go on a business trip to Scarborough.
They'll be like, what kind of business is there? I'm like,
You
skinning
ever had werewolf
werewolves.
steak?
That's it. I'm on the hunt.
Just May. Werewolf steak.
C'est fantastique. Oh, who are we talking to? Alfonso.
Yeah. Super Destroyer Knots DX, which is basically Space Invaders, is cross by $4.99. So I got those platinums yesterday, PS4 and Vita. That's it.
Oh, shit. Hold on. You had me at cross-buy platinums.
Oh, wow.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Coward, go beat a real game for your platinum.
Hey.
Yeah, like
hey,
Barbie.
hey. I don't care what you say, Gary, okay? If it's an easy platinum, I'm going to go for it because a platinum is still a platinum.
Hashtag.
Nobody got time to be doing 60 plus hours and finding all these damn colors. Nobody got time for that. No, I don't. I definitely don't got time for that. So if I can get an easy platinum, I'm going for an easy platinum.
Wow. Just wow.
Wow, indeed.
I will give you $50 if you platinum the Mega Man X collection.
Okay.
Okay.
You better get a knife and slit your wrist because I am not going through that.
Wow.
Yes.
Oof.
We didn't even get to the anime podcast for this kind of violent.
Wow.
That was rough.
Or should we say you listened to the anime podcast and you got more of it now?
Sorry,
Wow.
whichever way you look at it. Yes, that's.
To us, it's the other way around, but to everyone else,
I'll find a way to get that game for super cheap so I can profit $50.
Wow, that was hurtful, man.
The story that I have to tell you later will bring up your spirits.
Yay.
Right. Who does that leave? Who haven't we talked to? Everyone?
I think that's everybody.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Oh, I'm shocked. It seemed like it hadn't been. Predictions League. That's a thing. We do that often at this place of business. Again, only one of the 2 games we picked actually got enough reviews to actually count. That's you, Moose Man, not getting any more than 1 review. So that'll wait another week just to see if it gets...
My game I gave 100.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get 100, I'll tell you now, because the only review is 75. So, yeah, it's not happening. But you might get close. So, yeah. The other one was Tempest 4000, which did get enough reviews to get a score. A score of 75, which Garri, your stealing of Tim's 69, did not go down well here. You did not get anything for your trouble.
Sounds about right.
Same for you, Chris.
It's not my favorite position anyway.
Chris's favorite position and score 70. No, that didn't win.
Does that mean he's by himself? On a pillow?
It's when I'm by it's when I'm by myself on my bed with a pillow.
It's like the seven represents someone like with their back to the other person, and the other one's just got like their arsehole showing, and that's the arrow.
That's Channing Tatum. Thank you very much.
Anyway, yeah, it wasn't enough to win. Ben, 82. Nah, sorry. Tim, 72. Close. So close, but not there. It was me. With 74.
Wait, which game is this for?
Tempest 4000. That's the game. Got. Yes, I know. I know you were really wanting to know what score that game would get.
This is what happens when someone takes my default number, Garri.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, you'd have lost even more. You were closer.
Yeah, you were closer. You could thank him for being closer to not winning.
Well, no, this is what happens when the time shifts. Like when someone takes it away, then the rest of the world is affected. It's a butterfly effect. Thanks, Garri. You ruined it.
So, little update then. Chris, 1 point. Alfonso, 2 points. Garri, 4.5. Me, 5.5 now. Tim, 7. Ben, 9. Oh, a bunch of games out this week, though, aren't there? That's for sure. Including the Persistence, which is what we're going to start with, aren't we? Because why not? Let's start with the Persistence. When I scroll down and type in the Persistence into the list I have, because I wasn't prepared to write that down, apparently. So, Alfonso, seeing as you are returning after so long away, you can go first.
I'm going to go with 77.
77 from the Alfonso.
Just took my number. I don't believe this.
Hey, making a session. I'm not always on, so you can go without 1 week.
Not when Neil is winning every week.
Well, if he was
But
winning
he's
every
not
week.
at top.
How am I winning every
Ben
week?
is at top. Ben is at the top.
Yeah, I'm at the top, baby.
Unless I get 1 million points in the next few weeks, I ain't winning. Let's put it this way. So, Right. Talking of which, I will say 81 for me. Tim.
I think I'm going to give it a... man.
Really?
I don't know. 79.
79. He's going there. Chris.
Really, Tim? Do I have to do that? Okay, fine. I will do it. 69.
Nice.
Oh,
That's the
come
position
on.
you're not even good at, Chris.
What are you talking? I am excellent at it. I have that shit figured out. Locked
Come on,
down.
Chris,
Your
you broke
pillow
us.
doesn't count. It has no way.
We
to
have,
see how
we
it
have
goes.
established, Chris, that your position is to lie facing away from someone while they show off their arsehole.
Yeah, your position is 70.
Okay, fine.
You're missing the point.
70.
Self-defeating sexual intercourse. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Ben.
I'm going to go with... I make weird positions next to them, so I'm going to go with 80.
What are you
That's
doing?
Commentary chair right
I
there.
think he stapled the middle of his arsehole together.
Oh no, Channing Tatum's face.
or it's an underside view of his undercarriage and seeing his balls and his arsehole. Yeah, so yeah.
There we go.
The good old hanging fruit bowl.
Garri, what position are you?
76.
Now that's facing away from him.
Well, I don't want to look at you.
That's what they all said to me.
That's what I get for letting you look me in the back of the head.
Oh, the eyes are getting leaky again.
I'm mostly looking at your lower back, man.
All I know is at least it's just your eyes that's getting leaky.
Oh, yeah. 81 doesn't do it for me.
That's why I went 78, pure and simple.
Stapled shut.
Stapled shut. Right, so, as usual, two games. So the Banner Saga 3 is out next week, would you believe? I still not played the first two, so God knows what that'll be like. So, we'll go reverse order. Garri?
82.
82. Ben?
I don't know what game it is, so I'm going to go with 76. What game are we talking about?
The Banner Saga 3.
86.
86.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris?
84.
84. Tim?
Trying to. Man. I had a number and everyone started encroaching on it, so I don't really feel comfortable anymore.
Ew.
Things are getting claustrophobic in this position.
There's a lot of balls going so far in the numbers.
Yeah. Not enough hang time. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to go with it. I'm still liking 83. I don't know why. I'm going 83.
Mm-hmm.
Why you always gotta upstage me, man?
It's a thing.
Keeping in
It's
this
a Joyzy thing.
Keeping in this general area, I will say 87. Alfonso?
I'm going to say 78.
78.
The optimist.
He is literally lowballing it on that one.
Womp.
Get it? Because he's the only one with an 8 on the second part of his number. Anyway, right, let's go. That is that. Done. Dusted. We are done for another week, my friends. Oh, can you believe it? It's almost there. We're almost finished.
Almost Monday? Lame.
I know. It is actually. It's like an hour and 20 minutes away here, so... Ishka.
The future sounds awful.
It does sound awful. I'm going to go through everyone else's shout-outs. So, Ben?
Let's shout out to twitch.tv Maelstrom Radio. Maelstrom Radio, go check those out. They recently did a charity event where they tried to get to the top of Heaven on High against the Crucible. They got to floor 40, I think. And the Crucible got to floor 60, if I'm rightly. So they donated money. All the money went to charity anyway that they raised. They raised $600 against cyberbullying, which was funny because everyone went from the Crucible stream over to the Maelstrom Radio stream to bully them during the stream. So yeah, well, they're all the people are friends anyway. So you know, it's like when Chris talks to Garri more than anything.
When everyone talks to Garri.
Yeah.
As long as I'm in the conversation, I'm happy.
We love you, Garri.
Oh, Garri, that's sad.
I love you, Garri.
I don't like that.
You don't like having Garri in the conversation? Wow, dude.
Yeah, I know. Wow. I mean, it does. It makes me sad. So you know.
A shout out to She Heals I Tank. Go check them out. Twitch.tv/She Heals I Tank. A shout out to everyone that's here, especially Alfonso, because I want to go up on the list mainly. Because.
Yes.
I'm back to last place now, I think. So, but you'll find out. Well, you have found that out, but we'll find that out. But you already know this, but we don't yet. Well, we'll know this by the time it goes live, but won't know this by the time it's.
Yep. Are we talking Back to the Future time travel rules or Terminator time travel rules? I'm so lost.
Well, we're gonna find out on the next podcast we record, but that goes up before this podcast, so we don't know it. But by the time this goes live, we'll know it.
Oh, so we're like from the future right now.
Yeah, but we don't know the future.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow. Sorry.
Yeah, the bathroom's that way.
Oh. I just had to kill myself on Super Meat Boy after that.
I'm gonna have to stop sort of leaning on my chair. I don't want someone to run on and push me back. Anyway, that's my shout out. I was shout to Garri. Yeah.
Of course. Talking of which, Garri.
Thank you. Shout out to you guys as always. Thanks for having me on. Shout out to family, friends, listeners. That's about it.
Fantastic. Alfonso.
Shout out to you guys, to the listeners, to followers. It's good to be back on. Like I said, a story that will be discussed about in the next podcast that I feel is going to make everybody happy, especially Garri.
But it's also not the next podcast. It's the podcast you have before this, perhaps.
It takes a little twist that makes me upset, but it's not something that's violent or crazy. Just disappointed and sad. And I just tell Shannon why. But yeah, that's it.
Yes, good stuff. Tim.
Everybody, listeners, you guys, Neil, Ben, Garri, Chris.
Yo.
Hey.
Just name it.
Man, who's this Tim guy?
Rainbow's book, sandwich. Yeah.
That
I like
bastard on the beef.
I have a super stupid shout out, but I'm going to shout out Dokken for finally giving me an LR I didn't even know I had. Thank you for that.
You already had an LR.
Well, no, he said an LR he didn't know he had.
There's some bitterness here, Dokken, so thank you for both of those things.
Does LR stand for large rectum? Is that what you're saying? Why you have a large LR already? Is that it?
Hey, you hear this guy? He's bragging about his large rectum. Let's go him.
Oh man, you went into the daddy mode, and now I gotta go for a while.
It's my new specialty. Yeah,
I did a bit of ASMR during the last podcast last night. That had some quite effect on people.
I was not ready.
Lovely.
Hang on.
Oh yeah, like this right now. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just
I have
like
enough for this.
yeah,
Stop
we
it.
do. Don't do it. It's fine.
This is getting hot in here.
I don't have
Shout
enough
out
pants
to Chris.
to stop.
What's hoy?
Who's the sexual voice?
That's Ben.
And
Oh my
Garri-
God.
Chris. Not Chris. Ben and Neil. Who'd have thought that Clive Anderson had any sexuality?
Who'd have thought I had any?
I
I'll have
You
know.
are just oozing sexual mojo, Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, we can feel it through the microphone. That's how you infect us your brain diseases all the time.
Like the episode where I made you forget everything.
I'll have you know, I've had 2 whole children. So, you know.
Any house or?
I mean, are you full?
Never.
Oh my god, my headset fell off. I wasn't ready. My headset wasn't ready.
But do those come with mustard?
I don't know. I won't elaborate any further in case I ever get to work for Disney. So,
Oh,
I get
snap.
it. That was a good burn. That was a really politically good burn.
Oh my god. Too soon, man.
one could say you're jumping the gun on it.
oh, come
Oh
on.
my god.
Oh, yes.
You haven't got a Scooby-Doo, I tell you. That's fucking niche, as James Gunn references go. Anyway, Chris.
Shout out to the fans, friends, family, you guys. I love all of you so much. I can't tell you how much this last week has not been fun, and I was looking forward to this podcast today to hang out with you guys. So it's something that I absolutely love, and I want to say thank you to you all for making it so special to me. If you want to see anything, if fans want to see anything weird that I'm retweeting or have discovered, you can follow me on Twitter at Devangel. That's DEVANGIEL.
Fantastic. That's everyone else done now, isn't it?
I didn't even shout my Twitter account, actually UK. Remember, if I reach 1,100 followers by end of August, I will do a giveaway.
We'll do a giveaway. He promises, nay, threatens to do a giveaway.
I don't know what it is yet, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's the threat.
I also want to correct something I said about Mega Man earlier. Because I know the Rabid fanbase will destroy me. Zero became playable for the first time in X3, not X4. please excuse me for that small mistake.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing you corrected
Hey,
that.
no, don't correct because we might actually get emails for once.
It took you way too
I'll
long.
have to
Now they
edit that out.
stop listening.
Yeah, cut it out. That's it.
I'll cut that bit
my
out
God.
because I actually want to receive emails for once, even
Oh
if
my
it's
God.
just hate mail.
But it's directed towards me.
Last week we said stuff.
Yeah, but
that
you
I
said
was
you just like being
sure
in
we-
conversation, so.
Oh my god.
We didn't get that. I mean, our most active listeners are actually on the show, so, so we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot in that regard. But
It's always weird when I see on the tweet or on tweet that I've been like the #1 fan. I'm just like, ooh, that's not good.
yeah, but then we don't do a lot with that, so it is fair.
I looked and surprised that we had over 100 followers on our Twitter account when we don't really touch it. By the way, shout out to all 100 followers.
We love you a long time. 78.
Yeah.
70 us anytime you want.
7. I'll 70 anyone.
I get it.
I'm alone in the world.
So that's that done. I suppose this is as good a time as any to let the wider world know that I will be leaving PSU in a matter of weeks, and that unfortunately means this podcast as well.
Oh.
No. Why? Why?
This is a response in real time.
He told us earlier in the week it's because he's not #1 on your girlfriend's.
Yeah, so Shannon, it's Shannon's fault.
Yeah,
It's not your fault, male, aka girlfriend's favorite streamer.
Last week.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that was it. I thought I'd go out on a high, while I was top.
Like, why aren't I #1? Huh? Tell me.
But I want #2.
What does #2 work for?
Yeah, #2's my favorite.
Good #2 is always good.
But yes, anyway, carry on. Yes, I'm not going to do the big blubbery things because this isn't the end. I still have 2 or 3 more episodes to go. So I assume 3 at the minute, which will be after I actually finish with PSU. But I'll have a Sunday free, so it makes sense.
Well, it may be we can record the day before or whatever.
Well, either way. Don't miss me already. Don't miss me already. I'm already very sad and don't like it. But other things, bigger, brighter things are coming my way, I hope. And yeah, it's been great. And I promise I will not slack off any more than normal for the next couple of weeks, at least. So expect the usual 60% effort. And no more.
Then I'll be the main owner of the Unchained podcast again.
Yeah, it will fall back to you. The curse has never been lifted, I'm afraid, on that front. Yes. So, though next week will probably be quite normal, it may get a little more sentimental in the next couple of weeks. You may notice as I get a bit more full on. We had a meeting earlier in which it was mentioned that I was leaving, and I had sad, and yes, it's not nice. You kind of want it to be, oh yeah, everyone's sad that you're leaving, and it's great, but it's never nice, even though...
But the same thing, Neil, you don't want to end like me where you've been here so long you just feel like the old sofa that they've just left there in the corner they've forgotten about.
Well, interestingly, that's pretty much every other job I've ever had. So
That's how we take our strange.
I've been here for like 6 years now.
Yeah, I was gonna. Does the rest of the world know what happens? You know what happens on used sofas, right? Like, unfortunately, Ben, this has been Ben's life.
That's where we take our strange.
That's where we tame some strange.
For the record, we told Garri that a little bit of slang over the last month or so, and he hates it. So don't use it.
Oh, bless him.
It's not slang, it's trash.
Garri just hates South Park. That's all there is to it. I don't know why.
That slang was around before South Park.
Yeah, but South Park made it funny and popular.
You want me to use slang from the 50s, man? What's wrong with you?
Don't be a jive turkey or something like that.
You silly carrot.
It's trash.
Let's go out the apples and pears, my son.
Anyway, other than that, we are done for another week. Please do all those things that help podcasts carry on
By the way, we're on the Google app. I found out, so you can check us out on the Google app as well.
Oh, the Google app, amongst other things. There you go. So yes, I will revel in these last few weeks of hosting as much as I can, and I will try not to be too drunk for the last couple. I promise. I don't
promise nothing.
Dude, what? Why change it up? Don't do that to me.
Well, not for this podcast, the anime podcast. That's
Oh yeah. Okay.
There's lots to tolerate in that one. Right. So. Right. So yes, until next week, it is again Tatty bye.